Hi, Kaiju Wrecking Crew. This is Daria, and tonight we have a lot in store for you. The finals of the Mae Young Classic, the highlights of Nintendo's Direct Showcase, and the official start of the NBA 2K season. This is your HEELKAIJU podcast.
We don't know where this monster came from. All we know is that he's angry and that he is here to destroy.
You better watch your step. A crush warning is now in effect. Coming through, no regrets. The city's erect. Total devastation. The mission and its statement. Watching body y'all come with villainy for entertainment. We'll take a basic riding in the dirt, break his back and laugh at him with a smirk. Throw him across the skyline. World champ 2 times. He's got the microphone. Sit back and listen up. HEELKAIJU Radio. Pull a chair and turn this shit up.
Welcome back, Kaiju Wrecking Crew. I am, as always, your host, Spotted Menace, and I'm sitting here with my sister. Yes, we're in the same room for once. I told y'all we were getting better at this. We're getting better at this. We're making things work. We're getting things on point. But I'm sitting here with my sister, Daria. Say what's up, Daria.
Hello, my lovelies.
Wow. Just sweet and saccharine.
Yes.
That's just you.
Yes. I'm supposed to be.
Anyway, tonight we got our guest back with us again. It's the return of the Mage. Say what's up, Mage.
The one, the only, at long last, the Mage is back in HEELKAIJU podcast.
Yeah, he is. He's right back, and he's very enthusiastic. I like hearing that. I like people who make it seem like they like to be around us. I like that. So kudos to you. And also, we have everyone's favorite hero. You know him, you love him, you hate it when he brings that collateral damage to your town. Say what's up, King Dead.
What's up?
See, you could have been like Mage here all, yes, I'm happy. It's like, no, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I got a job.
Hey, you said to say what's up, I say what's up.
Fine.
What's up?
Okay, R-Truth.
He's here to fulfill the bare minimum of the contract, okay? Come on.
I'm here so I don't get sued. All right. Well, it seems like everybody's doing pretty well tonight, but we do have to start off on a much more somber note than we would have hoped for. Just life always gives you a reminder that it is short, that it is fleeting. And that you should really tell the people that you love and you care for them that much of a message, because one day at any given moment they might be gone. And I say that to prefix the fact that I want to say a few hours ago we got word that the wrestling world is in mourning at the loss of Bobby the Brain Heenan. I believe it was a lot of people say it was broken by JR's Twitter account, where he gave the update that we lost a great mind and a great person in the wrestling community and just in the community in general, in Mr. Heenan. And it's really sad. There's really no other words you could really say about it. It's heartbreaking. And I know that everybody here at HEELKAIJU will send our deepest condolences to his family and to anybody who may have known him. Really, the Heenan was, the Brain was really ahead of our time, before our time. You know, when we got into wrestling, we weren't really, big up on the names beyond your usual ones, your Hulk Hogan's, your Razor Ramones, and your Bret the Hitman Harts. And it took us to our much more mature ages where we are right now to really understand and appreciate the impact that he had on the business. So once more, rest in power, Bobby the Brain Heenan. And
We'll miss you, Bobby.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
It just seemed to come out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting it. I don't think anybody was expecting it. Like, I really just checked my Twitter feed, and I see just a string of people, going, rest in peace, the brain. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right, because I always thought that, his presence, what you saw just felt timeless.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect it to happen.
He was quick-witted, but he was also, willing to be, he was the butt of the joke at, on so many occasions.
And if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was amazing at that. Like, he had impeccable timing. He knew how to make, to make a mockery of himself, but at the same time, make the faces look great. And it's
he could give and he could take all at once, and that's not even so much a humor skill. That's a personality skill that's in rare and
oh god,
crucially short supply these days.
Yeah, he was one of the best heels in the business. Like he could just be one of the most nefarious schemers. He could make you laugh. He could just get any sort of reaction without any effort out of you.
That's charisma, my friend. That is a particularly special talent.
He had charisma like crazy. And it's just he was snappy. Like he could come up with any kind of retort in a second. He could dish, take it as well as he could dish it.
But again,
that's who I grew up on. He was the guy when I was growing up.
He was already legend by the time I was starting to understand how wrestling worked. What it was like in the world, So, just to suddenly he's not here, and it's like, what do you do now?
Yeah, it's usually like that.
I'm sorry, we don't mean to get maudlin here on HEELKAIJU, but it's just he was legend, and it's something that you have to sit and contemplate whenever you lose a legend,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
What do they say? Give the people that you love and you care for their roses right now, because now they can enjoy it instead of when you're having to lay it.
I remember that old John Lennon quote: "Life is busy. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans."
Yeah. Well, once again, Bobby, Mr. Heenan, the Brain, however you want to call him, we appreciate everything that you've done, just in life in general, and the impact that you left on us, whether we felt it in the moment or had to reach back to the history books just to see, just to understand, just to fully grasp the things that you've done. And we salute you here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now onto our actual topics of discussion today, because we did have a pretty quick moving show planned for us. Namely, we're going to start off talking about the fact that we have a winner for the Mae Young Classic. We've officially crowned a winner. It happened.
This should be interesting.
Oh yeah, it happened after SmackDown, which, funny enough, all of Tuesday from 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern on was just great wrestling. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's digress for a second. We started off with SmackDown. We only had 4 matches, I want to say.
I think it was 5, maybe.
It may have been 5, because we started off with the usual. We started off with a good segment because Vinnie Mac is back in the building and Kevin Owens is causing trouble, as he's wont to do. And right after that segment,
to do, it should be noted.
Yes, that's his MO right now. It's to cause as much trouble.
Owens for.
Yeah.
It's like you see him walking, and he might as well just be twirling his mustache,
Basically.
He does have evil/live tattooed on his arm, so I can get with that. I really can. But after that segment, we go into the United States Championship match between AJ Styles and Ty Dillinger. And I have to say, it probably is Ty's best match on the main roster to date.
Yeah,
against
easily.
AJ Styles.
AJ has a way of bringing out the best of in anybody he wrestles. So.
Yeah, here's hoping that he gets to wrestle Jinder Mahal and we can actually see some talent out of that, bud.
Oh, you better believe it.
Just saying. Then we had a great tag team match. No disqualification between the Usos and the New Day.
New Day.
Oh, the New Day.
Sporting
My
their
favorites.
up, down gear.
That was amazing. I love that gear.
That was awesome. And then,
I want that gear. I really do.
I mean, like, you really want to wear a Big E singlet?
Yes.
He might be more chesty than you are.
I doubt that. But okay.
Have you seen his gams?
Yes.
Lord. Ending with the New Day reclaiming the tag titles. I don't know how many reigns. I think they're the 4-time tag champions now.
Yes.
Sounds about right from my count, yeah.
Yeah. Then we had a women's championship match between Naomi and Natalya. It was Naomi and Natalya, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Naomi and Natalya. I'm missing a match. I know that there was another one, but it's not important. Those 3 matches were enough, I should say. And then once SmackDown goes off the air, we go right into the finals of the Mae Young Classic. No pomp or circumstance, just like right into it.
Yeah.
And we had a really hard-hitting match between Shayna Baszler, who held her own, and it was really hard to find any deficiencies in her game going up against Kairi Sane. And Kairi Sane, of course, was wonderful, so that goes without saying. But Kairi Sane ends up winning the Mae Young Classic. And before we get into what that apparently means in the future for Kairi Sane and just for the newly vacated women's NXT championship, we go into 205 Live with another batch of great matches, namely Rich Swann and TJ Perkins. Great matches. So Tuesday was a great day of wrestling, and somehow it was more than 3 hours of wrestling, and it certainly didn't feel like that.
No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was just great wrestling. Mm-hmm. It was great wrestling. But as I said, Kairi Sane wins the inaugural Mae Young Classic, and that means that at TakeOver, where are they? Like Houston?
It's wherever Survivor Series is.
Yeah, I think that's going to be in the Houston area. So I think it's going to be TakeOver Houston in some weeks. That means that she's going to be interred into the a Fatal 4-Way match? I believe it's a Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's title.
Oh, is that what they decided? I hadn't read the spoilers yet for the tapings.
I don't know if it's like, full on spoilers or if it was something that was just like a press release, but we know that she's going to be in the match. It's going to be a multi-women match of some sort. So whether it's a triple threat or a Fatal 4-Way or a 6-women like scramble for the title, she's going to be there.
Might I recommend we not use the word interred because it, unless the Undertaker's making a showing, I don't think that's the correct word.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right.
I think they should do a Royal Rumble for females.
Hell yeah!
I think that's probably going to be coming this year. They have enough women on the roster to make it show, even if they did a 15-woman match.
It's fantastic to be living in a time when it's not only you have a fantastic women's roster, but it makes great friggin' television besides. It's fantastic theater. Oh my God, yes. I love just the theatricality of it. That's really what draws me into this whole scene, man. It's I don't want to say we're writing Shakespeare all over again, but it's something, it has its own charm,
Yeah, no, I feel you there. Just as we said that, this is the probably the new golden age of wrestling in general. Just for women's wrestling by itself, the amount of eyes that are on it and the way that they have been introduced and incorporated into the product as a whole is already amazing. On the main roster, on NXT, even in some of their more promotional packages, we're going to start seeing more women main eventing their pay-per-views. And that should be a thing that happens because they've gone as hard, if not harder at times than some of the men. Like, we already said that this past SummerSlam, it was Asuka and Ember Moon outdid many of the men on the main roster.
Oh, easily.
Oh, yeah.
For matches of the weekend. So we're going to start seeing a lot more of that. We're going to start seeing them not being treated as a niche and more just like as an equal part of the program. Of course, we're not going to get, a Lucha Underground-esque kind of situation where we're going to see John Cena going up against Naomi for the WWE title, but it's still a great position for them to be. And since we're still on the women, Asuka, we started seeing little snippets, little trailers for Asuka joining the Monday Night Raw roster. Yes, that means we know exactly where she's going this time around. And it's going to be on Raw. It's going to be within 6 to 8 weeks. So they are playing up to her injury. And you got a question?
Yes. Is she really going to have her debut with Emma?
We don't know. Like, how you just gonna spoil?
I wasn't
what
trying
we about
to
to talk about. You just gonna spoil. You just gonna read the notes right out. Just like, yeah, you know what? Let's just jump right into the next note. No,
I wasn't trying to
take a breath,
spoil.
woman.
But why Emma?
Emma's good.
Emma's a good hand. Like, she is good at making people look good, but at the same time providing someone the crowd can jeer.
Honestly, I think that would make it perfect because
she's basically the female equivalent of the Miz.
Okay.
I was actually going to go Dolph Ziggler. But then again,
I think she's more of a Miz because she's still she is good on the mic given an opportunity. And she has a great personality.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, I would have went Ziggler, but the crowd actually responds to her. So it's more like the Miz.
Yeah. Because I know the last match she had when we saw her at Raw, it was pretty good. She was good on the mic.
Oh yeah, she was very good on the mic. She made you care about a nothing burger of a match between her and Mickie James.
Right.
And honestly, she's kind of the right person to throw at Asuka because Emma doesn't really lose anything by losing. And people have established Emma as a name that kind of matters. I mean, she may not have any title reigns under her belt, but people know about her. People know about her when she first came up and she had the bubbles and, the Emmamite sandwich moves and a whole bunch, all that happy-go-lucky stuff when she was working with alongside Santino Marella. And they know her now, when she came up as, Dark Emma, plus those little vignettes that amounted to absolutely nothing with that dancing gimmick that they gave to Lana now when they tried to repackage her as Emelina. So they at least know who she is. And that's enough to put her up against Asuka. So I'll give you that. But yeah, we have heard some rumors, since apparently now I got to talk about the rumors, and reminder that these are just rumors. We got our own rumor mill, the dirt sheets, the dirt screens, or however you want to call it. There have been rumors that yes, when Asuka does finally debut on the main roster, they are thinking about throwing her to Emma. And I could see that being some pretty nice matches. Hopefully no squashes, some actually good matches, because I can't think of the last time I saw an Asuka squash match. Like, she's always made other people look good in the ring with her, look like they mattered in the ring with her.
Oh, she had what's her name, who she kicked in the head and knocked her out in one kick on NXT. But that was a while ago.
That's different. That's more story than anything. I chalk that up to like them telling the story for that, so I don't count that. Yeah. But if they don't do Emma, if by chance the rumor mill, the bunch of people who sit in front of their computers like we do, who think they know the business, if by chance they're wrong, which is a high probability, we're not gonna lie, who would you rather see Asuka go up against on the Raw roster?
I mean, Sasha.
Yeah.
Really? You throw her in right there?
Yes.
Honestly, yes.
Wow. So
it's an inevitable match. I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, may as well start off with it.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna happen, but like, you know, I'd spread her out. I'd spread her around a little bit more.
Why?
That's just a lot of taunting and teasing for a match that everyone knows is gonna happen.
Right. So why do that? Why not just go for it? We already know she's good.
I want to protect my baby Sasha. I want to protect the boss.
Well, honey, the boss is good too.
She's good too, but she's gonna get her head kicked in.
It's wrestling. Welcome to the world of wrestling.
You don't get to say that.
I do.
You're not allowed to say that.
Why am I not?
She's wrong. Give her some demerits, because that's just wrong.
I do think that it might be a little premature to expect someone to fly and then toss them straight into a shark tank. So, you know, maybe a couple of like good spirited matches would be in order, but like I don't think throwing her straight up against the boss is going to be a very well received action.
See, I'm with Maze right there. See, thank you very much, Maze. I'm with him right there, if only because we want to give him a chance.
Sorry.
You okay there?
Yeah.
You okay? How you gonna cough more with water than you are without it? What's up with that?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
She gonna drink water and it makes her cough. Like we got the water so we don't cough and don't hit that cough. And we can't hit the cough button because there's one mic now.
Right.
You okay there?
I'm good.
You want to step away for a second?
I'm okay.
You all right?
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a second. Just and exhale. All right. Anyway, I don't forget.
I feel like we should have been this with a nice hearty goose fraba.
I know.
Or something.
I was about to start saying woosah, but my ears are covered by the headphones, so I can't do that. I can't even do the motions. But anyway, yeah. Here's a problem that I have with throwing Asuka right into a high profile situation with Sasha Banks. I know it's gonna happen. But the problem is never about the ability of the wrestlers to get the crowd behind them. It's more just the fact that the crowd sucks on a main event level when it comes to transferring people from NXT right to the main roster. And I think it would be better served to get her a few matches and just a real quick mini feud, mini rivalry with somebody to sort of paint the picture that, yeah, Asuka is somebody who's going to kick your head in and smile creepily while she does it.
That's actually a perfect metaphor for it. You are absolutely painting a tableau of devastation and paving the way for Asuka to make her way up, and just kind of again approaching with the dynamic theater angle. You want somebody to be able to, you know, shake up the arena.
Yeah. Really, that's more what it is. I'm less worried about Asuka doing well on the main roster. I'm more worried about how the crowd will receive her. But here's actually, you know, hoping that it's closer than 6 to 8 weeks, and it's actually like, you know, give it a month. Here's hoping it's just a month. They surprise the hell out of us. She just shows up in Rex's house. Something like that might happen too. That'll be good enough. But again, here's hoping. Here's hoping what happens in the future. Now, funny enough, despite the way that this group that we have, this kaiju wrecking crew that we have, the HEELKAIJU podcast, everything that we have is centered around wrestling primarily. Despite that fact, that's the last wrestling topic we got for today. What's up with that?
We're moving up and over the world.
We're trying to.
It's a crazy coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because aside from wrestling, we also love us some video games. Not video game, vidya. And what just happened on what day was that? I think it was Tuesday as
Wednesday.
well. It was Wednesday. Thank you, King Dead. You know how I said he was a hero? He just saved me right there from making a royal ass out of myself. He can be my hero, baby. All right, I'm not going to sing anymore before we get a copyright strike or something. Let's not open that door. But anyway, it was this past Wednesday. Nintendo dropped their direct showcase, showcasing the new games, new peripherals, new updates coming in the next few months. And I made some notes about it because it was about an hour long, and it had some pretty awesome titles.
A lot of awesome titles. A lot
of things that they're bringing to the Nintendo 3DS or 2DS. From their Game Boy Advanced or Wii peripherals, a lot of things that they're bringing to the Switch, namely the things that I've been looking out for really have been I haven't finished or I haven't even actually started my Pokemon Moon playthrough yet. It's still in the packaging and I just haven't gotten to it yet. And now I have to because they're releasing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Why are y'all doing this to me? Let a brother breathe. Let me breathe. Then they got Yokai Watch 2. I didn't even know there was a Yokai Watch 1.
Yokai Watch was a sleeper hit. They kind of wanted it to be, but they marketed the hell out of it stateside, and it latched on.
Yeah.
It really latched on, and I'm glad it did because it was a nice little spin on, similarly enough, a Pokemon-style formula. Or perhaps I'm talking out of my butt here because I haven't actually sat down to. Can they let me finish?
But
it kind of brings a bit of the term yokai is Japanese turn of phrase for demon, but it doesn't necessarily carry that evil connotation per se. They're more mischievous spirits, heavily rooted in Japanese Shinto, and it's a fantastic way to more or less package a bit of your culture and send it abroad in a creative endeavor. It's fascinating, and I find that kind of really cool to see. It's a side of Japanese gaming we don't really get to see very often.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And I'm telling you right now, from what I saw on their release trailer during Nintendo Direct, if it has create a character in any way, shape, or form, I'm getting that junk. I'm just letting you know. The way you steal my attention. Is it creative? Does it look like it'd be enjoyable? Is it adventurous? Does it in some way, shape, or form either advance upon, certain game types, or is it a completely new one? And namely the biggest one, can I create characters in there? If the answer to that is yes, you got me.
Yoink! There you go. That'll be $60, please.
Hell, I'll throw you my money. But then on the Nintendo, stick with the DS because I just remembered. They got a new Mario Party that just came out, the top 100 mini games, and it's.
I know I can't wait to play that one.
Yeah, I'm certain I've temporarily ended a few friendships over a few of those in the roster, so let's just clear the air on that one.
hey, if a convention comes around and it comes out and we got it, we're going to drink, play, and throw hands, apparently, because excuse my language, a bunch of those games.
Oh, I believe it.
Jesus. We got some RPGs planning on coming out like Alliance Alive, Shin Megami Tensei, Radiant Historia, Etrian Odyssey 5. A lot of good games that are coming down the pipeline just for the DS.
Listen, screw all that. Screw all of that, because Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga on the freaking 3DS, and I'm just like you can trust me, folks listening at home. You're dancing along with this.
I did make that note because yes, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is coming out, but they also got 2 new amiibos coming out, running alongside that, a new Goomba and a Koopa Troopa amiibo, just for that. So that's also a big thing coming out. Since there's a lot of crap. Why haven't I been watching Nintendo Direct more often?
They kind of make it low key though. They kind of hope that it's like, just kind of like, oh, it's just, it's an everyday announcement sort of thing. It's meant to be kind of like a fireside style chat, and that's one of the reasons why Satoru Iwata was so beloved. Goodness rest him, was that he had that sunny personality, despite being ostensibly on the inside track of things. Because remember, he came up from the programming team. He was single-handedly responsible for making Pokemon Gold and Silver exist in its current form. And a lot of those changes wouldn't be possible without him finding those the code crunches necessary to fit both 2 regions and everything else that Gold and Silver pioneered in. So, can you tell he's a little near and dear to my heart?
Yeah, we can see. We can see. Hey, bless anybody who has somebody like that in their life, whether like actually in their life or tangentially related through things that they enjoy.
Yes.
That's actually a cool thing. But that was actually like the main highlights that I enjoyed for the stuff that was coming on the DS. But then we had for the Switch, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which again comes from another game that I didn't finish, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the Wii U. And here I am, all hyped for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming out.
Wait a minute. No. Xenoblade Chronicles X was on the Wii U. Xenoblade Chronicles was on the Wii.
You're right. That's my bad. See, again, y'all keep a brother in check. Because I will talk out of my ass with the quickness. Because like, even though I got notes right here, I'm not infallible, people. But yeah, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We got Fire Emblem Warriors with some more new amiibos. Snipper Clips Plus. Dang, we got a lot of stuff. Morphe's Law.
Oh, that looks hilarious.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
And it kind of does fit a bit of our interests. I won't say what they are, but,
I'm going to have to take a look at that then.
Hint, hint, wink, wink to a few people who are listening. Rocket League is coming to
I can't wait to play Rocket League.
And Skyrim, because why the hell not? We're going to see Skyrim on the iPhone one day before they come up with Elder Scrolls 6.
It's just going to be Todd Howard sitting there with his hand out.
It's like, give me money. You know you want Skyrim on your 85th console that we have. Jesus. Elder Scrolls, Doom, and Wolfenstein 2 coming to the Switch.
Doom on the Switch. Oh my goodness. I was
shocked about
Doom
I'm jumping in the Switch pool for that.
Yeah.
Like I know we got Super Mario Odyssey coming. I know we already have Splatoon. We have ARMS. We have a couple other different fun titles. But Doom is what's going to sell me, and that's what's going to help move new units too. Because I bet you having that just palm of your hand, how can you beat it?
Yeah. It's honestly, I've been trying to get a Switch for
A while now.
Shoot.
We even tried to get a Switch in Atlanta.
Yeah, when we went to Atlanta, I was trying to find my way to get a Switch, and it was not the easiest thing possible.
No, because Nintendo enjoys teasing people. I'm certain they do, because the SNES Classic is nowhere to be found, and none of my local stores. And again, I'm in the New York metro area. I literally take 30 minutes, and I'm right at Nintendo's World Headquarters store in Rockefeller Center. I should see some Switches in here, but I don't. And the only possible explanation is that they're trying to string things along. Either they don't have the manufacturing capability and they're still lying through their teeth about it, or they're just messing with us. That's
or
the
they
one
just
thing
don't
I
like
won't
money.
I won't let Nintendo go for that one.
Because there's no way at all that your demand is this high and you don't have the supply to meet it. And it's not like you're a small company. What is going on, Nintendo? I want my Switch. I've not had my Switch so long that when Nintendo Direct ended with their Super Mario Odyssey major trailer, they let you know it's like, oh, you can get the Mario based Switch bundle, and I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. Should I have to go and freaking pre-order that just so I can get a Switch? That's crazy. You're coming out with bundles for games that aren't coming out for like another month and a half, 2 months.
On a system that's scarce enough to find as it is.
Yeah. What's up with that, Nintendo? But even though we're giving Nintendo a hard time right now, the Nintendo Direct Showcase, however you want to call it, really got me hyped for the Switch. Got me hyped to actually play my DS
It's coming purely
again.
from a place of, we want to give you our money. It is here in our hands. Please take it.
Nintendo, why are you being so hard for us to give you money? We're trying to give it to you. PS4 and Xbox One are just like, you can give us this and we'll give you, our feces wrapped in a blanket and you'll like it. And everybody's just slavishly like, yeah, you know what? We just got to get a new PlayStation or Xbox. There's not a whole bunch new with them aside from a lot of graphical capabilities and a new interface. But like with the Switch, here are some fun games that are using the new peripherals that we have. Here's what we have to offer you that you will enjoy, but we're only selling 100 of them. So, fight amongst yourselves like the Lord of the Flies.
Disconnect from that stupid meme gif of Iwata and Miyamoto holding a DS, laughing hysterically, saying, "It prints money."
So it'd print
you know
money
what I'm
if it
talking
didn't,
about.
Yeah, there's a paper jam right now. That's what's happening. If it prints money, there's a paper jam. Because we want to give you money. We want to give you our cash just so we can enjoy the stuff that you produce, and you don't produce enough of it for us to enjoy. What's up, Nintendo? Go ahead and fix that. You know you got to. But yeah, Nintendo Direct, their showcase came out. It's still up on YouTube. Give it a listen. See what games that you will enjoy. Matter of fact, before we go on, KD.
Yes.
What game have you been anticipating from Nintendo Direct?
Oh God, that's tough. Mario Odyssey, of course. I've had that pre-ordered since it was announced.
Here's the thing. Usually those Mario games don't get to me. Like, I did get Mario 3D World, and I enjoyed it, but it played like a Mario game. Watching the major trailers for Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm going, wow, this does not look like a Mario game, but it looks no less fun.
No, it kind of brought the love back of playing Mario.
Yeah, I was sick of the direction they were going with Mario.
Yeah.
God dang, that game made me excited.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I was actually expecting to be a little bit annoyed about the changes. But no, that's like, I wanted to play it.
For all that many critics say that Mario is Nintendo's flagship property and they want to try and keep him marketable, they've never been afraid to experiment with him, and he's often been the face of innovation for video gaming as a whole, not just Nintendo. But when you look at that little plumber and you see what he's doing, you pay attention because they do incredible stuff with him. But it's frustrating to see him stagnate like that, especially with the recent new Super Mario Brothers outing, of which which it feels like there's a million at this point.
Yeah.
Although I definitely, appreciate 3D Land and 3D World for shaking up the formula, and on top of which, just being some decently fun games to play.
Yeah.
Never has a Mario game been, at worst, mediocre. A Mario game, you're going to go in, you know what you're going to get, and you're going to have a good time.
It's not going to be a bad game.
Right, exactly.
It's not going to be a bad game. And since you spoke about experimenting with Mario, they really did experiment with Mario. They took his shirt off and you saw his nipples. What's up with that? I don't want to see Italian plumber nipples.
He was on the beach.
He's on the beach. Mario don't have nipples. He's not a man.
Well, what is he?
He's a video game plumber, and that's it.
That's not nice.
Well, goodness for Fen that we actually have mascot characters who are human and actually are relatable in some biological way.
Oh, so you're saying that if Mario didn't have nipples, he wouldn't be relatable?
What?
I don't think that's what he said.
I don't care. He's got nipples and it's messing with my head.
Oh God.
Anyway, let's move on, because I don't want to think about Mario's chesticles. 2K season is in full effect. Yes, I'm reading it word for word what it says in my notes. I don't care. 2K season is in effect. This past, Friday, if you pre-ordered NBA 2K18, you got to play it well before it actually releases on Tuesday with a whole bunch of other basketball fans. And I gave it a shot. I pre-ordered it. I didn't get all the bells and whistles. Didn't get like Kobe's ring and Shaq's jockstrap in the game that he wore in the 2004 NBA Finals. I don't know. I don't care. I didn't wear it. I didn't get all that stuff. All I got was just the game. I wanted to see what they changed with it. And for the past few years, they've done something with career mode that most other games have been failing with. I say most other games when I really mean Madden and FIFA, the EA properties. And that is make you actually feel like you're playing a character in career mode. That's what 2K has been able to do. I'm trying to see if I can remember my years, because I think it was in 2K15 or 2K14. I think it was. You got a rival and you got a little mini, not really much of a story, but you got to run through as a rookie with a rival who didn't get signed, and you had to get a 10-day contract, and you had a rival, and you went through all of that. And then the year after that, Spike Lee got involved with a story that actually brought a little tear to my eye when they played through it. You had to play through all the beats of the story to get to, actually playing the game as you like, but getting through those beats of the story was pretty enjoyable. And then it was 16 and 18 where it started to, 16 and 18 were identical to each other, where it was, hey, you're a high school star, you choose your college, you get drafted, and you move on. And that was for 2 years in a row. Now in 2K18, in NBA 2K18, you play DJ. Get this, everybody, you ready? You ready? You ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be outstanding. This story is so subversive, like you wouldn't know. You play DJ, and you are a DJ.
Oh my God!
You're a DJ who's a DJ who left. Stop playing basketball. You were heavily recruited. You were in AAU. You were in all those stuff, and you stopped to be a DJ, and you decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to pick up a basketball and play again. This time around, you don't get drafted. You just find a scout. You choose which team you want to be on, which already I kind of don't like, but I get it. Because since you're not being drafted, you're not eligible to be drafted because you haven't come out of college. You're just going to have scouts coming to you. And
okay. You find a scout and you get to pick which team you go on. Mr. Fantastic can't match the stretch of disbelief of my suspension of disbelief that this requires.
Well, here's the thing. Like you play in a street ball tournament, and the scout approaches you and gives you a tryout. And if you do well in this tryout, which is not like super hard to do, since it's not really super hard to do well in the showcase, since everybody's like right at the same level of ability, like right at that 60 rating level. If you do well in the showcase, the scout of the team that you chose comes and speaks to you. You find your agent. You come to the workout. You come to the tryout, and they pull you on. And it's not that much of a stretch because at least you're still in that roster of 15 before they have to cut down to 12.
Okay, the context makes it a little more understandable. I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah, so that's where it is. And so far I've played up to about, I want to say, 15 games into the season. And, it's a different story from the ones that you've been having, but that difference is a good thing because it keeps it from staying stagnant, which is what it was running the risk of. Because if it was another one of those, you're a high school prospect, you go to college and you get drafted, then it's really just, hey, I'm just being a regular basketball guy. Whereas this, just like, the other ones where you played Freak on the Spike Lee level, like that's what made it different, like having an actual story for yourself. And this is the same thing. This is what makes it different. You have an actual story for yourself. And then they have, instead of just like, having just idle screens where you find out where to go to practice, find out where to do all this other stuff, they put it in a virtual city where you have to run to the practice court or run to the Gatorade facility to get a workout in, or run to your agent's office, or run to your house, or run to all of the stores to get a haircut, to get a tattoo, to buy gear. Or if you wanted to, just run to one of the many courts to do some of the other activities, like play one-on-one with other players, or dunk contests, or just hit the proving grounds once more and just get in a pickup game. So it's doing something different. And again, that difference is what makes it stand out from the other career modes in other sports games. Like, again, Madden and FIFA, where, hey, we try to tell you a story, but you still don't have as much control as you should. Whereas this is, we're telling you a story, you have control. And connecting it to WWE 2K, which apparently I am a major stand for, I guess, it's giving me hope for it because it's doing the same thing that they're planning on doing for WWE. Oop. Sorry about that. I should have had that thing on vibrate. Oh God, I can't believe I didn't. Okay, that was my fault.
We'll get it in post.
Fault. Wow. But anyway, what they're planning on doing with WWE 2K is kind of having the same thing, except instead of a virtual city, you get to run around backstage and start feuds and do a whole bunch of other things. And this is basically treating it like a sort of mini trial run for that too. That's going to get that change. So I'm hyped for it. I'm very hyped for it. And a lot of these changes I've enjoyed. A lot of the gameplay changes I've enjoyed and made it a little bit less frustrating. Even though whenever I play a sports game, I'm always going to be yelling at my teammates, as Daria will attest. See, they can't see you nodding. You're just nodding your head. I'm giving you a chance to air out your grievances. You're just like, no, I'm a nod.
It's okay.
I'm a nod.
It's okay.
I'm just gonna nod. This is me nodding. Can you hear me nodding?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm giving her a hard time tonight. I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
You my Pookie. You know you my Pookie.
Moving on.
Moving on to our final topic, and which might be our most divisive topic.
Ugh.
So, it's really hard to get into this.
I don't really want to.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Pewdiepie.
Ugh.
Damn! Tell us how you really feel, KD. Just gonna give the man an ugh. I've never heard a more disgusted sound out of your mouth in my life, and I've known you for a while. just the amount of just like disdain. Ugh.
I mean, he is just a gross individual.
And he made his grossness known in a strain for player unknown battleground. He ends up getting shot, and in the midst of getting shot, he decides to use one of those words that it's not a fun word to say.
Really, the mother of all those not fun words to say.
Yeah, like in the list of names and words not to say. This is pretty up there. He said that guy is such a, I'm not even gonna say it, an N-word. And of course he finishes it up by going, whoops, I forgot I was streaming. So this is a little bit to unpack when you think about it. It's a little bit to unpack because you can't come at it from an accidents happen kind of thing, because yeah, we curse on this channel sometimes. I got a little bit of a potty mouth, and I end up fixing it in post. I learned how to bleep.
We don't insult just to make it people, like though. There's a difference.
Oh no, there's a difference. I wasn't done with my point.
I'm sorry.
I'll let you interject in a second. Bejeebus. Anyway, woman. Anyway, we fix it in post. We get our bleeps in, and we try to keep this as family friendly as we can. But mistakes happen. You let a word slip. That happens. But this is not a word that you let slip, because if you do, that means it's already in your quiver and you're ready to let that loose at a moment's notice.
That's exactly it, yes.
And that's a word that you don't have in your arsenal.
And if you do have it in your arsenal, one questions why one has it at the ready.
Exactly. That's the thing. Because I've seen way too many people, the usual suspects, I will just call them, because everybody knows who they are, and it's hard to explain who they are, but just saying the usual suspects, you know who they are. You have your own interpretation of the kind of people that I'm talking about, but you have your usual suspects defending him, and one phrase came out of all of that defense, and that was a heated gaming moment.
Ugh.
And another groan of disgust from our hero.
I have never used that word in a heated gaming moment.
I use a lot of words in my heated gaming moment. And in a way, I botched the segue. There was a segue in my mind, I want to say, about a few days ago on how to get this to go from 2K to this. But I messed that up. But to link the two, I get mad at my virtual teammates whenever I play a sports game. And it's usually only sports games that I get like this. I growl, I get angry at dropped passes and blown routes and blown coverages. And I have an extensive vocabulary, and I have a list of words that I say. And that list is only about like 3 or 4 words long. It's BS. You suck ass. Oh my God, this is some more BS. But like usually that's the extent. And that's at my most heated of gaming moments. Like when I'm at my worst. And even that word doesn't come up. And I don't have the complexion for the protection. So I'm of the people that are darker than blue, if I can continue using euphemisms and allusions to literature and stuff. So if that word doesn't come out of my mouth at my most heated, and it comes out of your mouth at the ready to the point where even you knew it was wrong and you went, whoops, I forgot I was streaming, and thought that would be enough, that just tells me more about who you are as a person. Right?
My favorite part of this entire controversy was his non-apology, in which he promptly declares, "I've got to stop messing up like this." No, you're not messing up. This is exactly the kind of thing you want to happen because that's the only way you're going to stay relevant. And if this is the level that you have to sink in order to stay relevant, we never wanted you as part of the video game community or even the broader television community in the first place. Please leave and do not ever show your face around here again.
Like, you don't already lost. Like, he already lost. What was it? A Disney endorsement? A Disney show?
If you lose a Disney endorsement, you've already screwed up almost beyond redeemability. So this isn't a, oh gee, I'm sorry, I screwed up. This is a, wow, I need to turn my life around now and pray that I am within forgiving company because this is unacceptable. What's acceptable?
What's really getting to me about all this is I remember I've been like, you know, not the biggest part of, not a big part of the internet and gaming community at all whatsoever, but I've been around, I've been privy to a lot of them, and I remember a time where gamers hated PewDiePie. Oh my God, they hated his guts. Like they if you called him one of your favorite streamers or one of your favorite YouTubers,
you would be laughed out of town.
Laughed at. You'd be ridiculed to the fullest extent. But the moment that he started doing stuff, and this is not the first time, there's a string of times. Like he started like doing skits wearing Nazi uniforms and talking to Hitler and making jokes about Jewish people and you name it. This is an ongoing thing. But the very second that he started being the most toxic gamer and streamer out there, that's when the outpouring of gaming support came from. And that's just blowing my mind.
It's disgusting.
That's what it is. Like how I must be taking crazy pills because like the first time I've ever heard anything about PewDiePie is funny enough. The first time I heard about Microply when they both had their own playthroughs of Asylum. What was it? The Asylum: The Dark Ascent.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Yeah, Amnesia. My bad, Amnesia. Their Amnesia playthroughs they were going through, and like Markiplier, I enjoyed him because it felt a little bit more fun and like, you know, somebody with more skill. And PewDiePie was just scream, 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 scream. And that was the constant criticism about his play type, despite the amount of popularity that he was getting with the mainstream, because you had kids who would watch and be entertained by this. And those same kids who watched and entertained him back then are the same kids who watch him now, and they hear him do stuff like this on the regular, it feels, and only just get a slight, I'm sorry, I guess I gotta do better, apologies. And I'm wondering, like, how are you still here? Like, how have you not just like gotten that reality check? And it's primarily because everybody else is cutting him a bigger check just to be this same kind of jagoff. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of being a toxic person just for the clicks. I don't get the appeal of doing stuff like this so often, so regularly, that whenever somebody says your name, you get KD, somebody like KD going, ugh. That makes absolutely no sense to me. There should be no place in this, in the gaming industry for this. Matter of fact, I want to say the developer of Firewatch, I believe it was, decided that as PewDiePie was playing and monetizing his playthrough content, he was like, hell no, I don't want anything that I do to be associated with you. I'm going to make sure to strike and demonetize you. Because I don't want you making money off of our name while being the most toxic person on YouTube. With the most toxic fan base on YouTube. where you can't criticize somebody for his actions without getting a dose of hate mail and doxing from a bunch of friggin' teens who want to see somebody try to be edgy and just have this sort of, oh, I'm innocent, shrug my shoulders apology. Of course you can hear I'm a little bit heated about this because I don't get this. I really don't. Because
in the wake of some of his contemporaries, particularly Markiplier, who remains one of the most cheerful and exemplary positive examples of YouTube sensibility and code of conduct. I might even round up Jacksepticeye in that general broad category. They kind of like showed up and began to broadcast and craft their art at around the same time. These guys are the polar opposite of PewDiePie in every single way, and they've enjoyed unabashed success, and as you can tell from the way I'm speaking about them, on limitless respect, because they have a modicum of humanity, of decency. And when you forsake decency for money, you create situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
Have they at last no decency, sirs?
Well, I don't see any decency coming from him. Not at all. I don't understand.
I suspect he was bereft of it to begin with, but I don't want to get too presumptuous and too heated on this cast. Because we are a family-friendly orientation, so I don't want to, put that too far out there.
I'll get heated. I will. Because here's the thing. I don't want anybody to use the word offended. Because that's not what it is. This is not what this is. I feel disrespected is really what it is. Is because it's not just that he said it. It's not just the apology. It also showed people showing their natural born ass in any and every attempt to defend him. And it really just showed how little they care for people like me. Unless I toe the line and allow such toxicity. Like,
but you can't. Past a certain point, forgiveness becomes difficult, if not impossible, to facilitate without putting yourself in mortal jeopardy.
That's really where it is. That's really where it is. Because like, here's the thing. I used to love calling myself a gamer. I don't anymore. I don't, because I don't want to be associated with that culture anymore. And this is coming from somebody who still calls himself a jock, knowing about how toxic the locker room is. And I won't call myself a gamer. I won't. I used to enjoy playing multiplayer games online. I was a massive Call of Duty fan. I was a massive Battlefield fan. I loved playing all of any games. I used to play Gears of War late into the morning. Upon release, playing with my friends, playing with strangers. And I started losing that love when that word kept getting spewed out by a bunch of prepubescent 12-year-olds hopped up on fucking Capri Sun. And you're basically giving them a pass to continue this. And there's a reason why it feels like there's a massive wall blocking access to a lot of these games, to a lot of the gaming culture. That's why it feels like there's a massive gatekeeping happening there. Because if you don't want to have that, you're not welcome. You have to basically take this berating to enjoy it. And I can't believe that is the litmus test to be a gamer. I have to basically enjoy getting put down continuously because of my race, because of my sexual orientation, because of anything and everything
that makes you
just to be
an
a
other.
gamer. Yes, I'm an other in something that I'm trying to enjoy. I stopped playing multiplayer games. I stopped. It started off just me not partying up in the main lobby. To me, I stopped. That's the only reason why I was playing Call of Duty games or Battlefield games, and I just stopped. I still got it I got Battlefield 1 in a bundle to get my Xbox One, and I haven't even taken it out the packaging.
Wow.
because I don't want to play online with people like that. They're taking enjoyment out of me. And to have somebody who is seen as a forebearer of gaming culture be so glib and easy with adding to the toxicity and not taking any responsibility for it, it's because of you that you further extended. You may not have been the creator of it, but you feed into it. And because you do this, I can't with full heart forgive anything that you've done. Because this, again, is not the first time. This is the latest in a string of you adding to this. And I can't get with that. I honestly can't. Whew. We got a little heated there. we got a little heated there. I'm sorry about that, yo. I mean, I'm not. This is sorry, not sorry. That's what this is.
Well, it's sorry in the sense that we didn't mean to devote quite so much precious time and energy and anger especially towards the subject, when we could be more positively discussing things and trying to name better examples and better circumstances that we can lay out to permit a more friendly and inclusive space for everybody.
Yeah.
Because video games are very near and dear to a lot of our hearts in the past 20 years or so. It's absolutely an art form, and you have to curate it. You have to be able to say, no, this does not qualify as a worthwhile statement or expression. And that includes the presentation of it. And that includes everybody who participates in it. We owe it to ourselves to be more
discerning.
Yes, absolutely. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. And it's rare for me to be at a loss for words. But
yeah, that was really.
It's not an absolution of responsibility. We are our own stewards. We are the masters of our fate and the captains of our souls.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. And honestly, that is the perfect way to end this. I want to thank all of y'all once more for joining. And apparently my sister wants me to take her part at the end, which I broke my fingers to give this to her. And she's like, no, you take it. So anyway, we got our outro working, people. We got this. We're going to make it work. But again, as always, you can catch our podcast on iTunes. We're going to provide the link in the description below, or on our website at HEELKAIJU.com. There you can find our shows, our articles, and any of our merchandise to help keep the site up and running and to keep us providing you with premium content. You can also join the Kaiju Wrecking Crew by following us on our Twitter account at HEELKAIJU, where we'll provide any updates, developments, and insights. Once again, I'd like to thank our hero, King Dead, and our resident philosopher, Blue Mage.
A pleasure.
For joining us tonight. And remember, keep smashing.
Bye-bye.